Hello and happy gaming, everybody. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and we and we have another hopefully decent build. I don't know 100%, but we're gonna try it. So here's what we've got. I decided to pick up the Tempo Robe to not only improve my cooldowns but also run speed, because we're gonna be working a bit of a combo run. We're gonna be using Mach Stunner. I had brought up last time that I don't know why I didn't use that spell more. So, in keeping with my desires to be a bit more transparent, yeah, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to take it from the start, and see what I can do with it. Simultaneously, I also wanted to pick up something relatively strong, and I figured, okay, what can do a lot of damage that's a little bit laggy without something to stun enemies with? What about the Hammer of Atlas? We haven't really tried that very much. So yeah, and I would take Jade's Jewel Tiara. Problem is, most of the spells that I have don't benefit very much from Jade's Jewel Tiara. It's not that they don't benefit at all, but only getting 1 or 2 extra damage per hit actually wasn't doing much from my testing. So I'm going to go with the Claws of Tomo in order to improve the Air Spinner from good to godly. And we have ourselves a run. I hope it's a good run. I don't really know 100% if it will be or not, but, you know, hard to tell without giving it a shot. No Atlas, that's both good and bad. Good, because I don't have to worry about the extreme difficulty of his arena. Bad in the idea that, well, I have mostly wind spells, and it sure would be nice for this to come off as effective against somebody. And without that little bit of run speed, I wouldn't have been able to catch up to him before he threw those fireballs. So already I think we've got ourselves at least a decent formula. And I would have mentioned my dash, but I mean, it's one of the dashes I use all the time. I love the Chaotic Rift spell. I personally think it's probably the best dash attack in the game. Immediate upgrade to Mach Stunner. Oh, that's feeling good. And I'm sorry, Iris, but even putting Engulfing Fissure on sale doesn't make me want to buy it. One of these days, I need to show you guys just how pathetic that spell is. And with our cooldown reduction, we're already able to go in here with our combo. So one of the things that I'm not a big fan of with the Hammer of Atlas is just how laggy the move actually is. That's the thing, it's not a horrible attack, it's just really laggy. It's kind of locks you in place for a good little while, so against rooms like this where you need to keep moving quickly, it's just a very iffy attack. So I'm hoping that the Mach Stunner makes it more usable. But if it doesn't, hey, that's the whole reason I wanted to try it out, is to see if this was a combo worth using, or if I'm just completely wrong about what to do with Hammer of Atlas. And the parts that are working fine. Mach Stunner is doing great. Air Spinner is doing great. The robe is making me quick and keeping me moving. The cooldown reduction is doing its job. So now it's just a matter of, is Hammer of Atlas doing its job? And I've got to say, at the moment, results are just a little inconclusive. One thing we do have going for us that I'm rather liking is the circular attack patterns. Both Hammer of Atlas and Air Spinner are covering all my bases. I like that. Alright, so we're about to break through. Oh, whoops. That was an oopsie on my behalf. Oh, now I have to break. No, I don't. I'm sorry, I lied. I don't have to break through nothing. Got chaotic rift. And the reason why I like chaotic rift so much is that it's near instantaneous movement without crossing the space in between. Earth Arcana, I don't care. So once again, we're banking on the idea that, hey, maybe we'll find a Quester Cap and get the Unicorn disguise. Again. Which, by the way, if I may ask, how did unicorns get associated with rainbows? Hey, I'm not entirely sure about this, but last I checked, unicorns had very little to do with refracted light. Maybe it's just because of My Little Pony. I mean, that's an explanation that actually makes sense to me. Well, another explanation that I'm sure the voice in my head is wanting to get across is, well, I mean, you know, unicorns are typically creatures of holy light, so there is that. Like, well, that's kind of a... Still getting a little vague there. Holy light isn't the same thing as rainbows, you know. What are Boots of Frenzy? That's pointless. But I'm taking it because maybe I'll be able to sell it to Cremire later. Maybe. Alright. Alright, so how is our little experiment going so far? Well, I mean, it's first floor. It's hard to say for certain whether or not this is working out as intended. But so far, we're doing just fine. When this little test, when the real test of this build comes, we'll be at the at the more difficult levels. So will this still do all right at levels 2 and 3? That's what we really need to be thinking about. And as we can see, there are little points here and there where we're finding chinks in the armor. But so far, we're not doing horrible. One thing that I'm not digging about Hammer of Atlas is the relative inconsistency of the attack. And when I say that, I mean it will just kind of knock enemies every which direction, so it's hard to truly combo into the hammer throw at the end. So Do I think the combo is working? It seems to be doing alright. The problem is, Hammer of Atlas is just kind of an iffy spell. But, it's the choice that I made, I'm gonna stick with it till the end. If I can clear the game with it, then, I mean, it doesn't mean that the build is good, it just means that I found a way to make it work. But as I'm already having some misgivings about Hammer of Atlas, no. If nothing else, though, take solace in the idea that I am having fun with this, I enjoy trying out new builds, I enjoy sharing them with you all. At the end of the day, that's the important part. I do like the idea of Deferred Dynamo. I'm gonna pick that up. Give me a slightly more ranged option. I haven't found the mystery portal yet. Maybe it's over here. Maybe it's a Windor. You can have that one. Alright, I have maximum Chaos Gems, so there's no downside to picking that up. Also, I was just noticing that I was just mashing the attack button for my basic, so I decided to check it out, and yeah, you can't hold this one to do the full combo, so this is... Ow. This is one spell where it wouldn't be a bad idea to have the Evening Gloves. Oh, hello, Line Shock Agents. I'm gonna forego Conjuration right now. If for no other reason, then I just want to make sure that I'm getting my signature charge. There we go. Ow. So I've gotta wonder, is my damage really just underwhelming right now, or is this the spell? Normally it does not take me so long to get through a tier 1 boss. Scales of Babylon. Okay. Don't know if that's gonna help or not, but might as well take it. I got nothing else. Now, Hammer of Atlas will shine in the lightning area. I'm really hoping that this run starts to feel a little bit less anemic, and I can get more going on in this area. So I feel I should ask, how is everyone doing during these uncertain times of stillness and... Well, I'm not going to say panic, because frankly I'm not sure how many of us are panicked, how many of us are annoyed. I would hope that annoyance isn't the first feeling that everyone feels. The situation being what it is with the Lurgy, it's gotta be difficult on people. But staying home isn't the worst thing in the world. And I'd say if that's what it takes to do our part to help fight the Lurgy, then I'm all for it. Alright, so I think I just kind of answered my own question inadvertently about Hammer of Atlas. This definitely seems to be a spell that's better suited to just coverage and not necessarily big damage. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes it's good to have that. It's good to have coverage, but it does mean that we need to find other spells better suited for just raw damage. Also, damage or critical hit bonus relics would not go amiss right now. Ow. I see you over here, Taffy. Can't hide from me. Alright, so how do I want to do this? Yeah, I'm just not. Don't think I have the DPS to do that. Like I said, this build is more focused on coverage than it is just raw damage. But what that is doing is making it so that against multiple enemies we get our signature charge really fast. Knockout Boulder is good for raw damage. And it does it from a distance. Alright, well, we've got all sorts of extra money, we may as well pick it up. Hopefully we can upgrade it, but if we can't, no harm, no foul. Oops. What in the world was I thinking there? Just walk right into the guy with the sharp pointy stick. He won't hit you with it, I promise. Alright, well there's a beautiful damage up. And I don't know if that's gonna help very much. Simultaneously, it's not like we don't have the money for it. You know what the hell, let's just grab it. It's an extra 10%? Alright, I thought it was going to be more than that, not gonna lie. Oh, disappointment with the giant's heart. No, at least they had the common courtesy to be like, yeah, it's a heart. Not one of those silly little Valentine's Day hearts. No, this is a goddamn heart. Now, I think my biggest problem with Hammer of Atlas is that it seems to be under a bit of an identity crisis. It wants to be a spell that does big damage against bosses, but it also wants to be an encompassing coverage spell. And as I typically say about things like this, a play for broad appeal typically appeals to no one. I know I'm coming off as being really harsh on Hammer of Atlas, but these are things that I've been thinking for a long time about this spell, and I'm just really taking the time to manifest that right now. There we go. Oh, of course. If I had taken that, I would have the... Ugh, damn it. Well, that's what I get for making assumptions. I'll never find it, who cares? Alright, starting to suffer a little bit, but a lot of that is just due to the nature of the run. I don't mean it's a bad run. I mean just most runs you'll start to see a little bit of a drop off in performance around level 2, just because that's when the difficulty picks up. So I'm not worried about things yet. I know I've still got full-powered health potions. I think, for the most part, we'll be okay. I do like Frost Fan. So do I take a chance and pick this up, assuming that the magician's outfit will be completed on the next floor? I wouldn't bet on it. That's the thing, I don't think I made the wrong choice or rather I did, but I don't think I made it for a bad reason. Sweet completeness. Ow. See, the reason why I didn't take the volatile gemstone is mostly because I was looking at it from the perspective of I'm not having a hard time building up my signature, at least not against mobs. And by taking it, I'd actually be dumbing down my damage quite a bit. So is it really worth it just to have a slightly faster charge? Sometimes it's worth taking the risky play. Sometimes it's better to play it safe. In this case, I probably should have gone for the risky play. Okay, something is wrong here. Why was the game not allowing me to use Mach Stunner? There we go. Alright, so let's come back here. Even with my mistake, I still want that. Whap, 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 whap. Oh, hammer time! You knew it had to come up at some point or another. It's like, where's the hammer time joke? I can smell it coming a mile away. I do apologize for that, of course. I am but a simple man of instinct. When I see an easy setup like that, sometimes I just gotta go for it. Alright, so insofar as I can tell, that Giant's Heart pickup was kind of a waste. Alright, so one thing's for certain, because of the laggy nature of Hammer of Atlas, don't throw it out against them. Owie. Don't throw it out against them while they're just attacking. Yeah, it's the second time I've tried to use Mach Stunner, and the game responded like I was, telling it that it has something stuck in its teeth. I made a mistake again, I threw it in the wrong direction. Oh, and they're using it again. Christ. Normally I can take them down before they get to a second chance to use their ultimate, but not this time. Nah, I like this. Also, where is Cremire? I've got at least one artifact I can drop on him to get a little extra spending money. And now we're coming up to where I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have big problems. Because he's going... Shu and his elemental minions are going to resist both of my primary elements. And that's leaving me a little concerned. So here's hoping that I can either find something along the way that'll be effective against him, or that things aren't as bad as I'm thinking they will be. God damn it, I thought you were dead. I'm also not exactly being helped by some of the relics on display here. Sorry, I'm not... Shiva's water bottle? Does it look like I need a bonus to water damage? I don't have any freaking water spells! What was that thing I always say to Iris? Oh yeah, know your market, genius. You got someone who's specializing in wind and earth-based magic, so you give me relics that power up water? Sir, you're not making a lot of sense. Okay, now I absolutely need that health potion. I can't delay that any longer. That room just did not do me any favors. I got wrecked. There we go. Alright. Worked out nicely. It was just more money, but still. Oh boy. I think one way or another I'm not doing well health-wise, so may as well at least grab the relic that'll at least give me a little bit of self-regeneration. So, I did just notice something about the Hammer of Atlas, and that is that even though I'm in the middle of using the spell, the icon for it doesn't exactly go dim when I start swinging it. So I wonder if something happens when I press the button again while I'm swinging the hammer around. Like, does it just throw the hammer early? Am I just seeing things? That's always possible. Just a complete misinterpretation of what's going on. Alright, well, during the signature, it doesn't do anything. I wonder if during a normal cast, as I press... Nope, that's just the animation of the spell. I wanted to give Hammer of Atlas a bit more credit and be like, Oh, there's a mechanic here that I wasn't paying attention to. Maybe this will make the move really good, like okay, it doesn't tell me that I can't do anything. So maybe I can swing the hammer, create like a little earthquake, like a a boom or something. Get a little happy time going on with a secondary hammer swing. Like that would make the spell way more interesting. But no. I do like Tidal Blast, actually. Not only is this spell strong, but it's got a nice massive area of effect. Do I see a reason to go over there? I really don't. Counter Rogue again. God damn it. Excuse me, game. Okay, I gotta say, Hammer of Atlas has left me very unimpressed. Like, I came in here thinking, alright, this'll be the run that makes Hammer of Atlas worth it. If nothing else, it's just a fun spell. And the more I use it, the more I'm going, wow, Hammer. Just wow. Please, Hammer, don't hurt him. Like, don't worry, it can't. Igniting Spray? I'll take a fairy. I've already explained that as far as mythical creatures are concerned, I have a soft spot for fairies. So, I think that works out nicely. Plus, her fire-based magic will be quite effective against Shu. Alright. I think it's funny that the way this build is set up is around stunning enemies with the Mach Stunner and then hitting them with the hammer. And, oh, nope, give me that back. And yet what I'm having more fun with is... Damn it. Is just the knockout boulder that I found randomly. Should tell you an awful lot about the quality of the spell. And by the way, keep in mind, this is not coming from the point of view of someone who's just trying to detract from something. I came in here really wanting to give Hammer of Atlas a fair shake, because I kind of like the idea of summoning a giant fuck-off hammer and then just blapping someone just repeatedly in the face with it, but... This isn't how you do a good hammer spell. It could also just be that I'm incredibly out of touch. That's another reason why I like Chaotic Rift, by the way. Oh, hello. Well, I mean, I can give you my Deferred Dynamo and see what it turns into. Or, you know, you'll take Tidal Blast and make me upset. Alright, so what do we got? Alright, so long as we're taking spells that are typically upsetting, let's just take Dragon Circuit. So we have an improvement on that on the deferred dynamo, and we also have tracer barrage, which I wish I could get upgraded, but chances are slim to none on that one. So I don't know. I'm gonna take it. I'll try it out against... Actually, I'll put it there. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not exactly flying with, apple pie in the sky hopes for that one. And again, I don't dislike the spell. There's just other things I think would be more useful right now. Oh, hey. Alright, not against that. I love Cabby's cotton candy. Okay, but Dark Sage, you didn't answer the important question. Who is Cabby? You know, if I hadn't answered that question, I'd share it with you. I know he likes sweets. Well, he, she, it. Not discounting the idea that it could be a transvestite. There's actually very little lore on Cabby, but again, because this game has some very interestingly defined ideas through environmental storytelling, I can tell you that Cabby is a person who loves sweets. And they must have a thing about magic, because all of their sweets have some sort of effect on basic arcana. This is clearly someone who wanted to combine their passions. A passion for magic and a passion for candy. And they found... What the hell? Alright, well, we're probably going to die in this room, because this room is unfair. Yep. Yeah, that's what I thought. Interestingly, I found more enjoyment talking about Cabby and his love for both candy and magic than I did in trying to make Hammer of Atlas work, so... Yeah, Hammer of Atlas once again going on the blacklist. I apologize, I really wanted to make it work, but... I'm sorry, it is not Hammer time. So, and, pun acknowledged, I used it twice. Sorry, Hammer of Atlas, but you've got to go back on the shelf. But thank you very much for watching. Hey, not every run can be a winner. And I will be back next time with some more stuff. I will continue to do Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past randomized as well. I might even do more than one run on the channel. I've been practicing the game, and I'm getting better. I wish my bomb jumps could be consistent, but we'll save talking about that game for another time. So, until next time, my name is Dark Sage Walker, and I will be seeing you.